and at the end of the module you should write the end module. So be careful that the name of your module must be the same as the name of your project. Okay, let me go to the another slide. Here, this is one example of the Verilog language. For example, you can see this circuit, logic circuit. You have three gate, and you have three input and two output, and you have a wire with the A. Okay, if you are going to define this one with the Verilog language, at first you should write the module. This is a keyboard, you cannot change it. This is the name of your module. For example, if you put it SMPL underline circuit, you can name it as you like, and here you should write your input and output. You can see A, B, C is my input, X and Y is my output, and semicolon. In the next line, you should define your input and output separately. A, B, C as input, A, B, C, input, A, B, C. Like for example, in the C program, you define int X equal to 3, for example, like that. Here you should write the input, the name of your input, and the name of your output. Output is a keyword, and this is the name of your output. And don't forget semicolon. And wire, if you remember from the VHDL, you have something like a signal there, but here you have something like a wire. So the wire is something between this gate and this gate, the output of this gate, and the input of the another gate will be the wire. Okay, so we name it as a E. Actually, the name is up to you, you can change the name. And here in the another line, you define your gate, how many gate you have, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you have AND gate, NOT gate, and OR gate. Here you should write the name of your gate. Actually, this name is up to you. I set it as the G1, G2, and G3. You can define different name for that one, so it's up to you. So here you should write the name of your gate, and here this is the input and output of your gate. For example, for G1, A and B is your input, A and B, and E is your output. And for example, for G2, C is your input, and G2 is not input, and this is your output. Okay, Y and C. And for the G3, for example, your input is E and E and X, and your output is X, and your input is Y and E. Okay, that's why. And here you have a AND module. Okay, so with this code you can write this circuit. So this circuit is corresponding to this code and vice versa. Okay, so it's so simple. And let me check the another one. Actually, this is the very simple example. Here in this slide, we define different part of the code. As I told you, this is the module name. If you remember, our module name was the SMPL underline circuit. Here is our output, our input and output, actually our module port, and this is the code. For example, in this example, we are going to define the code for this circuit. You have the AB as an input, you have sum and C out as your output. So all of them is the module port. This is the module name. The module is the keyboard. Again, you define input, output, and wire separately. A and B is your input, so input A and B semicolon. Output this one, and this one is your output. And also here, this is your wire. You can see this is your wire. So this part is declaration of the port modes. And here we use the XOR gate. Okay, and your input and output, and you can use the comment. And this is the NAND gate, this is the NOT gate, again input and output, and the AND module. Okay, this is another example. And in this one we tell you that like a C++, you can put a comment with the double slash or slash and star symbol. And here we have one point for you. Maybe in many books you find different type of the Verilog language. Actually, when you are talking about the Verilog language, you can divide it into three separately kind of the code. For example, here in many code you can divide it to these three parts: structural modeling,